Welcome to Not So New News. Come along with us as we continue to discover an Appalachian time gone by. Today's article comes from the town of Whitesburg and appeared in Letcher County's oldest newspaper, the Mountain Eagle. Volume 2, Number 46, Industrial Edition, Section 4, dated July 22, 1909. Page 13 is not named but continued in today's reading. Commonwealth's Attorney, Honorable Ira Fields. Honorable Ira Fields was born in Letcher County, February 3, 1863. He managed to pick up a common school education and attended a law school at Danville, Kentucky. On September 8, 1881, he was married to Martha, the daughter of William Raleigh of Poor Fork of Cumberland. He is the son of Elder R. H. Fields of the Regular Baptist Church and is of a widely known and popular family of the people in this country. Ira Fields first served as Justice of the Peace and in 1897 was elected county attorney. Refusing re-election, he engaged himself closely to the practice of law and at once stood at the head of his profession. In 1903, he was elected Commonwealth's Attorney of the old 26th Judicial District, composed of the counties of Letcher, Perry, Bell, and Harlan. But when the new 33rd District was created, Letcher being placed in it, Mr. Fields was retained as Commonwealth's Attorney and is now serving in that capacity. At the recent Republican judicial primary, Ira Fields was nominated to succeed himself by an overwhelming majority. Mr. Fields is one of our best-known progressive citizens, always standing firmly for law and order. To see the county placed on a high plane, morally and educationally, seems to be Mr. Fields' highest ambition. He has an excellent home at this place, a large family of intelligent children, and some of whom are grown, and only one, Felix G. Fields, being married. A newspaper correspondent, W. Burdine Webb. The above is a very good likeness of Burdine Webb, likely the best-known newspaper correspondent in eastern Kentucky. He is about 30 years of age and used to teach in the public schools. However, he early abandoned teaching and turned his attention to literature. He has wrote much for the leading magazines of this country. He has traveled extensively in many states of this union, taking notes of the hills and dales and viewing the country in general. Over a year ago, he was married to the youngest daughter of Bird Franklin, the collie merchant, and is now dividing his time in writing for newspapers and magazines, writing insurance, and farming. A well-known banker, Judge James P. Lewis. On Poor Fork of Cumberland in Letcher County in 1869, James P. Lewis first saw the light. He is the son of the late Wilson Lewis, once a leading citizen. First a close student of the public schools of this section, Judge Lewis acquired what he could then finish up at Knoxville, Tennessee, and Valparaiso, Indiana. For a number of years he was a leading teacher of Letcher and one of its successful merchants. In 1890 he was appointed county school superintendent and in November was elected to fill that office. He was elected to succeed himself 4 years later. In 1909 he was elected county judge and filled that office with credit to himself to the satisfaction of his friends. In 1903, Judge Lewis organized the Whitesburg State Bank and was elected cashier of the same and served till this bank and the Citizen Bank were merged into Union Bank when he was elected president of it and still holds that position. James P. Lewis is one of the best financiers of the county and perhaps eastern Kentucky. He is deeply interested in the educational and moral upbuilding of our town and country and is a strong pillar along that line. He is a member of the First Baptist Church at this place and is a faithful and consistent worker in the cause of religion. Eddie Williams. This eagle would have had a harder time and would have been much longer in thriving had it not been for the earnest and faithful service of the subject of this sketch. Eddie is a young man of excellent working qualities and can do most everything in the printing office or anywhere else. Edo has traveled much across the country and has had a lot of experiences. He has had a good common school education and is quiet and genteel, and a member of the newly organized Baptist church here. He is reliable and worthy of any confidence reposed to him. Stonecutter and Concrete Man, Charles L. Collins. The subject of this sketch is a native of Letcher County and was born in 1879. He obtained a good common school education and took up the profession of farming. He married the daughter of Wesley Breeding, a good citizen of Camp Branch. A few years ago he located at Whitesburg and took up the trade of stone cutting and cementing and has become very proficient in these trades. Charlie is one of our best citizens and is a hard worker and honest. He is an odd fellow and is now Noble Grand of that order in this place. He is an announced candidate for jailer of this county, to be voted for at the next November election. An all-around typo, Carl Ellis Davis. The above is a good representation of the man who has made the Eagle famous. He was born in Bowling Green, Kentucky, December 30th, 1880, and at the age of 12 years old entered the Old Courier office, and in a few years forged himself into the head of this profession in the city of his birth. In a month or so after the Eagle was started 2 years ago, on account of poor health, he resigned a good position to come to the mountains. Last March he was happily married to Miss Blanche M. Salyer of this place, and a daughter of our townsman, D. W. Salyer. They left immediately for Bowling Green. After a stay of 2 months there, he resigned an excellent position on the news and a leading daily of that city, and returned with his wife to the mountains. He is now permanently located here, and is a man who has done all the mechanical work on this issue. This concludes today's reading of Part 1 of page 13 of the July 22nd, 1909 Mountain Eagle. We at Kentucky Tennessee Living would like to thank you for your continued support as we bring to you the history of the Appalachian Mountains.